This misconception of projecting the ski outbound to get width is really that. It's a misconception, and there's more at play to reaching your max width as you move from the center of the wakes out towards the buoy. Now I want to show you one more shot of Will from behind making that same move, that early controlled transition and that outbound swing around the pylon. And one of the techniques that he uses, which is not an elite technique. A lot of skiers of all ability levels use this technique, but I just want to make a note of it, and we'll talk about it more in a later video. So here you see Will on his gate shot, 39, and he goes to make his transition. He doesn't get super crushed. He lets his ski move outbound, but not all the way. And you see this angle right here. Before he starts to let go, he's at about a 29-degree angle. Earlier we saw Dave, from a different perspective albeit, was at about a 45 or 50-degree angle at this point in the course. So Will has obviously let his ski swing outbound much less at this point than other skiers usually do. Notice one of the things that Will does here as I zoom in. When he makes his move from two hands to one, his elbow is in tight. His elbow is still by his side. He's got a 90-degree bend in his elbow. But notice the other thing. If you draw a line from the rope through his body, instead of going through his shoulder, like most people, the handle is low. That means that the line of action and where the boat is actually pulling on his body is right here, through his hips, not high. So as he continues to move outbound, he keeps the handle low. And you'll notice that his connection to the handle maintains this low attitude relative to the surface of the water almost all the way until full reach. And what this does again is this manages this outbound swing of his body. He's still at a 33-degree angle relative to the vertical because having the rope, instead of connect from the boat to his shoulder like this and having his arm be directly, his hand be directly between his shoulder and the boat, he still has the rope down low. And what that does is that essentially is like tying the rope to this part of his body just by keeping that handle low. And so the boat has much less of a lever or an advantage to tipping him over when he moves outbound towards the buoy. That is a key part of handle control, outbound swing, and upper body discipline that needs to be talked about. And you'll notice that this keeps the ski from moving out that way, and it keeps the ski tracking with his body or with the handle towards the buoy, keeps him connected. You see the rope is pretty tight, and as a result, he doesn't really let the handle go between him, his shoulder, and the boat until right when he wants to make his move. So you see that as he brings the handle up, that's when the ski swings away. So part of keeping that outbound swing moving is not only handle control, but its connection and where you direct the force from the boat. And Will Asher is one of the best in the world at keeping that handle low and close to his body as far outbound as possible. And ultimately, that essentially is like connecting the handle here instead of connecting the handle here. And the result is he keeps his body pretty vertical until right before he wants to flip his ski out around the buoy. And that's why he's one of the best in the world. What we need to do is simplify our understanding of how things work. And so if we look at these common misconceptions, like this idea for the last many decades that projecting or shooting your ski outbound ends up getting you width, we can see that that's actually false. It's the opposite of that. It's the fact that if you can keep your ski from shooting outbound and keep your ski closer to your body or closer to the handle path further outbound, you end up still receiving energy from the boat, still swinging around the pylon and getting to a higher point earlier so you have more space before the buoy to make that turn that we all want to make, that buttery smooth, continuous turn.